everybody, what's going on? Nick here, founder of leadminingpros.com. If you're watching this video, you probably know exactly who I am. You're most likely a client of ours, kicking butt and taking names. Today, I wanted to introduce you to a great friend of mine who has a very similar service to mine, and his name is David Olds. David, how's it going, man?
Good, man. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah, David. And you know, me and David, we actually met probably about 6 to 8 months ago, and we both do the same thing for our clients. Now, that's not lead gen, but that's done for you. We take these difficult, painful processes, and we actually were just talking about it. We make them look very easy.
That's it. That's it. We make it look like a magic trick, right? It's just, and there's the dove.
Right. There's a coin behind you. That's right.
That's right.
It's such a great point. And what David does, which he'll get into here in a little bit, but he provides transaction coordination services. So if you guys are getting contracts under play and you're getting things from lead mining or any lead source, David's the guy who will make sure that that contract actually goes to close. That's what his company's job is. But I wanted to have him on here. David, you want to share with us a little bit about a little bit about yourself and what you guys do?
Absolutely. So my name is David Olds, and our company is EZ REI Closings, and we put the easy in real estate, right? That's the corniest thing ever. Somebody said it to me the other day, but yeah, listen, ultimately here is our goal. Our goal is to try to compress time for our clients, right? So what that means is from the time that you get your seller under contract to the time we get that closed, we want to take all of that paperwork and all of that bottleneck and all of that administrative work just completely off of your plate so that you can spend time doing the things you got into real estate to do, right? You did not get into real estate to learn title work and what a monument of title is and where to collect death certificates and how to do affidavits of heirship and how to file memorandums on properties. If you're like me, like I got into real estate because I love talking to sellers and talking to buyers and that high and that rush that we all get from cooking up the deal, right? That 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 deal. So, the reason that EZ was started was to help investors do more deals, make more money, and really just have more freedom. And that's freedom that you can use to go out and do more deals or just to go on vacation and run your office from Panama, like some of our clients do. So, that's ultimately the thing that we do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. And so you were telling me earlier about some of the things you guys do. And I think that one thing my clients love about my service is it's not just like, hey, we're cold callers. Hey, we're text messengers, right? It actually comes with guidance. And, from what we were talking about earlier, I mean, your transaction coordinators, I mean, they're experts. Like you just mentioned some documents earlier that I've never heard of. And I can only imagine a deal being slowed down by a document you've never heard of before and then needing to step in. So do you guys provide that like white glove transaction coordination service?
Yeah, 100%. You're absolutely right. So, all of us who have done deals, we've all experienced this, right? We get our contract, we send to the title company, and, let's just assume it's a good title company and they're going to do your type of deal because there are a lot of different title companies. Some people will deal with wholesale, some won't. Some will do innovation, some won't. Some will do subject to, some won't. So that's very important. And when you have us working for you, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff anymore. Just get us the contract. We will take care of everything. But yeah, 100%, it is a white glove service. Our team is built based on, we've hired title agents, mortgage brokers, processors, abstractors. These are people that know the business. We did $69 million in closings last year. So like the commercial guy, we've seen a thing or two, right? We did over 1,200 files just last year. We'll easily double that this year. So, no matter what it is that you're doing, we don't want you to have that feeling of just walking through quicksand, right? So I send the contract to that title company and they send me back an email. Oh, we need the seller's social security number. So now you got to stop what you're doing. You go call the seller, you get the social security number and you're like, done, send it over. 2 hours later, is the seller married? I don't know. I didn't check. Back to talk to the seller. Right. And it's those questions that they just seem to get drug out because they get asked of you one at a time. Now you've got to stop what you're doing. So instead of going to your next appointment or talking to your next buyer so that you can sell your deal, you're just spending all of your time mired in just nonsense. Yeah. Well, because this is all that we do. This is the only thing that our team does, kind of like your cold callers. They're amazing at it. Like our team, we just have a team of bad transaction coordinators. So we know that when you upload a contract to us and you say, hey, somebody died, we have a checklist. We know all the things that the title company is going to need. So you don't have to worry about that. Like you're out. Just upload the contract to me, go worry about selling it. So by the time you've got your end buyer in place, we're ready to close and get you paid. So again, we want to spin the wheel of your business faster and compress time.
Yeah, and I love that. And I think compressing time is a twofold thing. Number one, you're compressing time after the contract signed and delivered. Two, you're compressing time because I can relate to this. When people hire me, they're compressing my 9 years of real estate experience into that. I almost every day I have a client call. And I think the reason why my client calls go so well is they're so educational. And it's not because I'm educational, but it's because people call with all these preconceived notions about cold calling that I then have to debunk or change or then restructure. And so I think that's another great form of time compression. You know, when they hire companies like ours, they're literally taking our extreme expertise and they're shortening it up. And take it from me, a guy who, a small related story. I love being in pain. So right now I have a property in Vermont that is in a town with only 2,300 people in it. And I'm doing my own property management. It is extremely painful. And I think I can really relate to what you offer to hiring, like so for a small example is we're like, we got to get a lease. So we download a lease. Well, the lease has wordage in there that we didn't catch. Then we send the lease to the person and I'm literally, and I like learning. So it's okay for me and I've got the bandwidth and stuff. And so I am making each mistake one at a time. And like you're saying, when we have businesses and we got to be focusing on leads, you know, not everyone likes being slowed down or likes that experience. And so, you know, companies like yours and mine, really, that we take all that away from them. They no longer have to worry about when the curveball shows up. If anything, they can inversely, they can call us when the curveball shows up and then now leverage our compressed time and then solve their problem faster.
Yeah. A lot of times our clients won't even know that a curveball showed up because our coordinators just, you know, they're handling it because we become that point of contact for your seller. Once you've got it under contract, we're going to literally take that baton like a relay race from there, and we'll reach out and gather up all the information. But not only that, but we're going to touch base with that seller every single week so that we're keeping them in the fold, because a lot of people lose these contracts and these sellers because, you know, they may put it under contract and then 5 weeks later they call the seller and like, hey, we're ready to close. And she's like, who are you?
Right.
So, you know, it's so long, somebody else has contacted them and, you know, just from lack of, communication, they've decided to go with somebody else. So that, and then also, you know, because we do so many transactions, we have, like you, we've got that 45,000 foot view of what's going on in the country. So a lot of times our clients will call and say, hey, what are the best states to be doing novations in? Well, we can tell you, we have $69 million in deals. I can tell you what states are what. Like we know where, you know, sub twos are really popping. We know where wholesale is really doing well. And we have that data that we can really break down really the whole country. And we're happy to help kind of point people in the right direction.
And, you know, one of the last things I'll touch on too, that may be more subtle is all this touching with the seller, you're actually building a brand. For hiring you. And I think that one thing I push a lot is customer service, even from the buyer to seller side. I think that some real estate investors' biggest problem is they don't service the seller. They're too busy trying to get the seller to sell, and they're not servicing the seller to a point of sale. And sounds like what you're offering is what I would say something that if they provide this white glove, amazing professional service, what are the chances that this person's now going to tell a friend or they're going to have a great experience? Wow, they were really all over it. So I think another cool perspective too is you guys are branding as well because you're touching these sellers and you're leaving them better than you found them.
Yeah, and it's never us when we're calling Mrs. Smith, right? It's, hey, this is David with, infinite home buyers or, sincere home buyers. So yeah, so now not only they've got you with this band of cold callers creating all these amazing leads for them, they put it under contract and they've got us to go ahead and get that closed so they can just really focus on the parts of the business that they love, right? Talking to sellers, talking to buyers, selling that deal, let us get it closed, go to your next one, get your next lead.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that. No, this is great. I've gotten excited over this because, it is cool. And I love anyone who has a like mind of mine who wants to make other people's lives easier, and we're able to systematize it and make it work really well. And this is where my big skill sets lie, has lied over the years. And that's like systems. You actually do real estate. You're actually extremely successful in real estate. So you built this most likely probably out of a need.
For me, I'm a dick, right? Like I built the team to like make sure that I was going to be satisfied with that service.
Right. Yeah. And with cold calling, I actually was cold calling, so I would be a real estate investor. Found out I'm not the best closer, but I'm a hell of a lead generator, right? But I still solve the problem, for me, which is super cool. But that's awesome, man. And I really appreciate you coming on here. Any parting words you wanna share with anybody who's watching?
Yeah, man, somebody asked me just the other day, and I always have a lot of those kinds of things from doing podcasts, but somebody asked me the other day, what was the one thing that made you really blow up? When we really blew up and went nationwide, and we were wholesaling like crazy. And I had to think about it. And I realized that there was a day when I realized I am not the best at everything. And that's a hard thing for, entrepreneurs and us A personality type people to come to terms with, because there's a little narcissism in there, right? Like you have to think you're the best.
Which is why I'm doing my own property.
Well, you'll get over it, man. I got 100 of them and I got over it. It took me 12 years to get over it. So you got a couple.
I'm on my way.
But once I realized that there were other people that were better at certain aspects of the business than me, and that I could outsource to them or hire them or whatever it was, that all of a sudden my business started exploding. So I find a great lead gen person, I hire in a great dispo person. I find someone amazing that can run those transactions. Well, now that I don't have my 30% of my brain tied up in something that I don't want to be doing, right? The reason investors are terrible at transactions because we're talky people. We're not built for that. We don't love paperwork, right? Very rare that you find an investor who loves spreadsheets and paperwork, right?
I can't wait to fill this out.
Yeah, right. That's why our accountants hate us and our attorneys, because we never answer anything on time, because we just want to be out there doing the things that give us that rush, that adrenaline kick. And I appreciate you having me on. And we just want to help our clients spin the wheel faster, do more deals, and make more money. That's it. We are single-mindedly focused on that.
Rock and roll. Yeah, no, we sound like a perfect pairing. And guys, there's going to be a link here. At least book a call.
Right below. Yeah.
Yeah. Chat with these guys the same way you would with me. Worst case, you leverage some expertise. You learn something you didn't know before. But this is a staple. And I think the most important thing is getting a deal closed. And when you can leverage experts like David and I to get that done and stay in what you're doing, negotiations, comps, contracts, that whole part. Okay. Get it under contract, get it right over to David. That's such a great point of the minutia. One thing I'm actually working on right now, we've been in business 6 years, is really pouring rocket fuel on myself. And it's not by doing more. It is definitely not by doing more. And like you mentioned, it's an easy trap. I love starting it, learning. I have no business doing it, and then finding someone else to do it.
It is important. It is important that you understand it. When I had rental properties, I changed out water heaters and scraped popcorn off the ceilings and painted plenty of walls. So, it's okay to understand it, but you're not going to grow and accelerate your business that way.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of a final word. Definitely jump on a call. I would love to chat with you, and we will show you how we can even get your buyers to offset the cost. We're incredibly cheap. Somebody compared us to a fractional CFO like Dave Richter the other day, where you can really leverage our team of experts to grow your business. But we've got some neat stuff where you can actually turn transactions into a profit center, and we'd love to show you that as well.
Very cool. Awesome, guys. Yeah, give David a look, and he's definitely a trusted friend of mine and a trusted vendor. You know, he totally has my seal of approval. We're actually going to be seeing him on our new website as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So if anyone needs anything, you reach out to me or him, and we look forward to seeing you at the finish line.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
See you guys.